Alright, I've seen a lot of people having problems with the Yaesu FT891 set up for digital modes. This is how I have mine set up. Um, I had problems with setting up all of my digital modes so they would all work using Trimode, quad mode, whatever. I had problems with it with the radio keying. I fought this for probably over a year, trying different settings in the radio and different things on the programs, and I finally got all this to work. This is how mine is set up. I've tried using all the settings I've seen in other people's videos and websites and everything, and couldn't get anything to work. This is how mine's set up. So if you're having trouble with this, we're going to walk through it here. First off, radio settings. So this is the FT891. We're in the main settings menu, so hold down the F key, main settings menu. We're here at setting 5-6. That's CAT rate. Mine is set to 9600. Some people set this lower, but this is the rate for your connection for the CAT through the USB into the computer or Raspberry Pi. So 9600. We'll need that later for the programs. CAT TOT, the next one, 5-7. I got 1000 milliseconds. And then CAT RTS enabled. And then we're going to go down here. Let's see, what's the next one? PC keying 7-12. Might have missed one. And we'll scroll on down. Oh, passed it up. 7-12 PC keying. RTS on that one. Notice I'm using all RTS. This is gonna help later. You're gonna go down to 8-1. That one set data mode others. Then we'll go down here to other DSP at 8-3. I set that for 1500 hertz. And then other shift, also 1500 hertz. And then we'll go down to 8-10. 8-10, data PTT select. Set that to RTS. And we're keying up here. And then data BFO, which is 8-12. 8-12, data BFO, USB, upper sideband. And then we'll go down to 11-8. And this is SSB PTT select. Mine is set for DAKY. Alright. And then I believe that's it. for all of that. There is a, trying to find it here. There is a setting to tell it to use the rear. Here we go. 8-9. 8-9 data in select for the rear. That's for the, what is it, a 6-pin DIN? I think it's a 6-pin DIN on the background. That's where I have my cable for my sound card plugged in. So all that's going through the rear. So there's that. And then we'll go and show how we have the data mode set up. So select that out of there, and we'll go and show you how we have the data programs all set up. So this is all keying right. All right, here we are in the Raspberry Pi. This is headless, so I'm running it on my Windows machine, and this is the Raspberry Pi right here, running VNC to the desktop. So we're in JS8 call file settings. We'll go over here to radio, and this is how I have my push to talk set up, so that everything will key when it's supposed to key and everything transmit correctly. So a CAT control, obviously that's empty. So rig options up here at rig, set for FL rig. I am running FL rig. Then down here in the push to talk method, RTS, and then this is grayed out if you don't select RTS. So if you had CAT selected, it's grayed out. Select RTS, and then this comes up. On my machine, it's USB 0. Dev TTY USB 0. This is the second interface for the USB when you connect the FT891 to the computer. You get two USB interfaces from that one USB. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's FL rig. We'll go into configure, setup, transceiver, and then right here where you would set up your transceiver, you got your rig, FT891, and then you'd use this to select the USB port that you want to use. When you pull this down, there's two Silicon Labs USB ports that come from the radio. One is IF00, one is IF01. There's a bunch of videos talking about these two, and just selecting this for your FL rig. That's what I do, and that's it for FL rig. I've tried to set up this RTS keying in here on FL rig. Doesn't work. I have to do it in the program itself. So IF00 on that Silicon Labs USB for FL rig, and then in the programs set this RTS USB 0. Test the CAT, and it's wanting to be oh, well, maybe it's USB 1. There we go, USB 1. So there, I was wrong the first time. So it's dev TTY USB 1. Obviously, test it. Test the PTT. Make sure your radio keys up, and there you have it. So that's for JS8 call. Now do the same thing in FLDigi. So FLDigi, go to the configuration dialog, rig control, and hardware PTT. Hardware PTT, and then use a separate serial port for PTT. And then right here in this drop down, you see we have this Silicon Labs USB again. But I chose the IF01 on this, and then use RTS, and then it'll ask you to initialize, and then all of your FLDigi will use that second USB interface as well to tell the radio to key up. So if you're getting all that where programs don't seem to want to key up, and like it keys for just a second then goes out, and all that stuff, it's that's what I was getting. That every time, that's what I was getting. And then like if I switched between programs and tried to key up, then it wouldn't key up. I would get it flicker for a second and it wouldn't send. Now for stuff that uses RDOP, you have to set the settings in the RDOP status for your TNC app. I went through and ran the Trimode script, and once you do that, you get a file. It's in user under the root. It's user local bin. Now what I'm going to do from the file browser is go user local and then bin right here, right click and open in terminal, and then I can type sudo nano and then just start typing RDOP, and it's RDOP status is the file that you want to edit. So when I go in here and I go all the way down, this particular file here tells this app right here how to act, what to do. So down here, this is when you check on something to turn it on. So you checked on RDOP. This is what it runs to start RDOP. All right. So down here, when you check on rig control, this is what it runs to run rig control. Now what I did is I added this right here where it says -- PTT file equals, and I gave it that dev TTY USB 1, the same as I had there in JS8 call, and then PTT type RTS. So it should be formatted just like this, and then when you click on that, it'll run rig control D with those settings. So then it's telling the radio to key up through that second USB interface, just like the other programs. So I don't need to edit mine. It's there, but that's where I edited that at. So when I turn it on, that's what I'll get. Now, we'll go over here and we'll go to Jerem, and I'm going to connect the TNC, and we got the RDARP GUI running down here, and I'm sure most people's familiar with that. There's some lights down here that turn on this RDARP GUI when it transmits or receives, I believe. But what I was getting is the same situation I've heard a lot of people talk about, is when I tell this to beacon, or I'm trying to make a connection, or I'm trying to tell the radio to transmit. I'm seeing those lights going like it's supposed to be transmitting, but the radio just keys for just a second and then turns off, and keys for just a second and then unkeys, keys for just a second, unkeys. So I wasn't getting anything across. So now, with that rig control D set up to PTT through that secondary USB interface into the radio, now if I send, you see the lights are on, and the radio is keying up every time. Every time I use any of these, I get it keyed up every time. So we'll go ahead and send something here. Just to show that we're all working. And we're keyed up now and transmitting every time that a program tells the radio to transmit. Now I'm not getting that where it just keys up for a second and then doesn't actually send anything. It's keying every time and sending like it's supposed to. So and we'll go ahead here and send something, and we're transmitting. It's working. It's everything is sending like it should. So that's how I have mine set up. And like I said, I was fighting with this for a year or more, trying to get multiple programs to key up correctly and go through the radio. It kept dropping the PTT on me. So that's how I have it set up, and everything's working. I know that a lot of people have posted forum posts all over different forums, talking about how to get this set up, and their radio's not keying correctly and it's dropping out and all that stuff. So this is how I have mine set up, and it is working 100%. So and like I said, at first I thought I had RF getting in. I do have a shielded USB cable and all that stuff. I don't have any ferrites on it right now, but it's working. That was my problem, that it wasn't getting a good signal to key from the Raspberry Pi, and now we are. So that is how I've done it, and that is working 100%. So I hope this helps anybody out there with an FT891 having trouble setting all this up. and I hope this gets you going if you're having trouble with it. Um, if if anybody needs any more help, comment. I'll put those settings in the description of this video that I have for the radio, and hopefully that helps somebody out. So um, we'll see what kind of response we get out of this, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks.